Hey, how's it going, everybody? UT5 Foyer. I'm here with the Burning Knuckler, or Battling Boxer, or whatever you want to freaking call these guys. Deck we're filing for you guys. This is the deck that I plan on building in real life, but this is going to be a pretty big budget build, considering I don't really have the funds to buy some high-end expensive cards, pretty much, for the deck. So before anybody goes, oh, this deck sucks because you don't have such as that, even it's like 30 plus fucking dollars. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have the funds to buy this right now. Well, that could change real soon, you never know. But this is basically based off of what I really have looked up in terms of prices, compare prices, and got a pretty good justification or an idea how much that's going to cost. Right now, it's about $50, $60, maybe around $65. It's actually been pretty cheap. So, and that's pretty much why, some of it looks like this. You may wonder, like, oh, there's some cards not in here. And maybe in the extract, you're probably noticing that there's cards not in the extract. But again, like I said, this is super budget. And some of the stuff, most of the stuff will change over time as I get cards, because I'm basically just getting my foot back into the door of playing the game in real life. And, I have to start really slow, I have to start very cheap, and I've always been a big budget player, but there's cards that I will like to use, which I'll make an honorable mention of cards that I would like to use, and what you probably should be using if you're running Burning Knucklers, or Battling Boxers, or whatever they're freaking called. So, but anyway, let's just start with the deck profile. So first off, we have 3 Headgear, 3 Glassjaw, 3 Spar, 3 Switch Hitter, and then 2 Counter Blow. I feel 3, 3, 3, 3, and 2 is a good ratio of the Burning Knucklers. You can run 2 or 3 Spar, it doesn't really matter. I run 3 because I have terrible luck of drawing him. And I know you can send him with Headgear, but I like trying to get him its first turn if I can, allowing me to go for an easy lead joke pretty much, or any other rank 4 exceed. Headgear, of course, is self-explanatory. He recycles the deck, allows me to set up my plays. When I use go Headgear, you have pretty much, you can send any one to grave, you can send your Switch Hitter if you have a setup for next turn, you can send Counter Blow if you still wish, Spar, Glassjaw, the sky's the limits on Headgear. Glassjaw here, of course, allows me to add, when you short my card effect, allows me to add 1 Burning Knuckler monster from my graveyard to the hand, except for himself. And it is a, when he gets destroyed, you can. So it's a when you can type effect, so he will miss timing on a lot of things. So he has to be the last thing to happen, so you have to keep that in mind if you're playing Glassjaw. Spar is pretty much just here, like I said, the speed of the deck, why I run 3. He adds speed to the deck. Downside is you can't attack, but if you're going for cards like Chain or Black Ship or stuff like that, which next I don't have right now, probably won't be getting for a little while now, it doesn't really matter if you can or cannot attack, pretty much, with Spar. Next up we have, of course, the Switch Hitter, MVP of the deck, opens up lead yoke plays. All it really does, open up lead yoke plays, but the cool part about him is the fact that you can, especially with 1 Battling Boxer monster from your graveyard, it's not level restrictive, so you can even revive and exceed, which is freaking awesome. So pretty much you can revive like a Glassjaw, which is normally what you will revive with Switch Hitter, attack for how many damage you're going to attack, then exceed for your lead yoke, and that's pretty much the gist of things right there. Counter Blow here is not the most necessary card in the deck, but it does add a little bit of defense, and allows you to be a complete dick to your opponent. Counter Punch here is pretty much the honest / collude of the deck. But it's a very balanced one, because you can only use this effect once per turn, so no stacking for you guys. Sorry if you like to stack honest / colludes. You're not going to be able to stack this thing. But the really cool part that makes up for the once per turn effect is the fact that you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard. So it's live in the graveyard as well, which is why it's always fun to send that thing to send it to the graveyard with Headgear. It's really awesome. Another cool thing is the fact that he's only level 3, so and I'm saying that's a cool thing. People might think, why is that cool? Well, because it makes him even less broken. Can you imagine, having Honest? Just think if you have, like, Switch Hitter, Spectrum, and this thing exceed to, like, lead yoke. Oh, hi, and I have a Counter Punch, which I can just eat into the graveyard anytime I freaking want to. And it's like, oh, I have a live Honest again. That would be really crazy, so I'm glad they made him level 3 for that. One of my favorite techs in this deck is Kagura Kage. I've been taking this thing in a lot of my decks now. It's a really fantastic card. It opens up a lot of exceed plays. It allows me to go for rank 4s that require 3 level 4 monsters very effectively. It opens up first on Shockmaster in this deck. Yeah, you never thought you'd see a first on Shockmaster in Burning Knuckles, did you? It can actually happen. All you really need is a Burning Knuckler plus Kage Kage and then a Spar, first turn Shockmaster. Really not that hard. One of my favorite plays with Kage Kage is with using Lava Chain, which of course, like I said, I plan on getting as soon as I can, as well as other cards like Black Ship of Corn. One of my favorite plays is with Headgear plus Kage Kage. Normal summon Headgear, get its effect off, Kage Kage summons itself as well, sending my Switch Hitter to the grave. Exceed into a Lava Chain. Detach any one of my materials, it doesn't really matter. Send Glassjaw, add Switch Hitter. I now have a live Legio for my next turn. It's a really fun play to do, and I love using it. And it also allows me to go for any other Ring 4 Exceeds. And it still allows me to attack during that turn. Also with Spar, if you're playing on DN, now I've said this on the podcast, like link that I did with Omnidito, link to his channel in the description below. If you're playing on DN and you have like another Battling Boxer monster on the field and you summon Spar, make sure you emphasize your normal summoning Spar, because you might get in an argument that you cannot attack because of Spar's effect. So make sure you let them know that you are normal summoning him, not special summoning him, if you want to attack. I came across that a couple of times when I was testing on DN. Yeah, I was testing on DN. So what? Next up is Double Goblinberg. I've been going back and forth on this card, thinking like, do I really want to play this card or not? Goblinberg really helps out because it opens up more Exceed plays. But with using Kage Kage, he kind of helps out with that more. Only reason Goblinberg is still good in here is because of the fact that it's no low target for Kage Kage. If I was going to take him out, I would take him out for some more trap cards, such as Fiendish Chains, which you see is now my trap lineup right now. I still like my Double Mirror Force. Now my trap lineup might be weird for some people because I am going to build this in real life, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Goblinberg here just opens up more plays, but like I said, if I want to take him out, I could easily replace him with Fiendish Chains or something else. For the spells, we're playing one Magnum Shield. This is actually a pretty cool card. It was not originally my idea. Somebody from the podcast that I was helping with some of my friends said, "Hey, Magnum Shield, you should try this out. It's actually kind of cool." And it really is. I'm using it as a one-of because I feel like it's one of these nice cards as a nice little tech card to surprise your opponent. But for those of you who don't know, Magnum Shield came out in Lord of Tachyon Galaxy, which is the pack that pretty much just came out. It's an equipped spell card that allows you to equip it to a warrior monster and against a certain effect depending on the battle position of said monster. If it's in attack mode, it gains attack equal to the original defense. If it's in defense mode, it gains defense equal to its original attack. So therefore, it can become a pretty big beefy monster as well as a pretty nice wall. This is great for all my Burning Knuckler monsters because you see most of them have pretty decently good attack and defense. Headgear, he'll become a 2800 attacker or wall, and just you can kind of add the math here, 12 and 14, 15 and 14. There's a lot of cool things you can do with Magnum Shield, but I feel like it's a good card as a tech in one, and it's something your opponent won't see coming. Next up, we have Reinforcing the Army. I feel that's self-explanatory, and we're tanking in a Warrior Turning Alive just to kind of recycle my hand a little bit, get my Spars, Glassjaw, Switch Hitter stuff back to my hand, in case I can't get the combos going with Switch Hitter and Glassjaw. Because that does happen sometimes. Spells you have Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Double MST, and then Double Forbidden Lance. Lances you can actually get for pretty cheap. You can probably pick them up, and the Battle Pack commons for about $12, so they're actually really cheap to pick up. And Kage I know has gone up. Well, actually, why he hasn't gone up in price, but he is coming out in the structure deck. The newest one coming out in a couple of days, actually, on the 14th of this month. So yeah, you can pick them up there quite easily. But Lances, you can probably pick up the common ones because a lot of people don't like using the commons. I'm also using one Foolish Burial, just this deck thin, send Glassjaw and counter blows, just other stuff to the graveyard. And then a Rank Up Magic Barney's Force. Actually a pretty cool one. I love Rank Up Magic. The ability to steal material, but there's 3 you can actually use. Well, one of which are right now, but another one, it's going to be coming out real soon. So, because you have the Barney's Force, Limited Barney's Force, and then the Numeron's Force. Limited Barney's Force is coming out in the starter deck, so you can look forward to that. Numerous Force is coming out in Judgment of Light, which I kind of prefer Numerous Force. Just me personally, I like the effect negation, is pretty cool. But they all have their nice little things. Barney's Force here is like snatching Exceed material. It's actually pretty cool. I like the card a lot. Now for the traps. This is where I'm going to have to do some pretty explaining on why I'm playing set cards, because the meta of the way it is. We got the Solemn Duo here, Double Mirror Force, double bottomless, double torrential, and then attack, and then a compulse. Now the reason why I'm still playing my double Mirror Force is because the locus where I found is called the Rocket's Hideout, and the meta there seems very diverse. At least is what I've heard of what I've seen. The meta there seems like there's only really 3 big meta decks there, which 3 people only play. 1 E-Dragons, 1 Prophecy, and then 1 Evil Swarms. And hell, the Prophecy player, what I've heard, doesn't even have a complete Prophecy deck. I believe they said it's missing Judgments. It's perfect for me. So with only 3 big main meta decks out there, I feel like Mirror Force will be a fantastic card over there. I don't know everything is over there. I also know there's a 100 player and then a 6-hand player as well. So I'm pretty much going over a guess and check pretty much. Just experimenting with my deck, and this could definitely possibly change. Now, like I said, I'm also thinking of taking out the Goblin Barracks for 2 Phoenix Chains, just because they really help out infect negations. So that's really the main deck. No side deck because I'm still trying to figure out how I want to build my side deck. Because, like I said, I don't really know what to expect. What I'm thinking of doing is going over there when I first go over there to duel, is to really have no side deck and just kind of play it by ear and see what the game is pretty much, what the decks that win the most are, what I really have to watch out for, and stuff like that. So a side deck would definitely come later on in the game, like later on down the line, pretty much once I figure out what I really have to watch out for, to an extent. Now the next deck is actually pretty fun. We have Triple E Joke, number 39, a Blade Armor Ninja, World Champion Excalibur, Mindstroke, Photon Popper Operative, King of the Fairy Limbs, Jinlight Pearl, Shockmaster, Violandi Sigma, number 105, Chaos 39 Utopia Ray V, and then a Chaos 105. Now, like I said, it's probably sound like a broken record. Right now, I don't really believe I can get Lavable Chains and Black Shippercorns, as well as Cowboys and stuff like that anytime soon. So they have been replaced for other things for right now. Like, I wouldn't normally play Excalibur, and he will basically be a Lavable Chain. But he's there just because of the Warriors, and you kind of get my drift. Same thing with Jinlight Pearl. I probably wouldn't play him. I'd probably replace it that goes to Emerald, or got a Cowboy and stuff like that. And finally, the Sigma is actually replacing Evil Swarm Outer Boros, but I'm actually liking this thing to death because it's really fun to snatch shit. I really like this card a lot. So I might actually keep that and not run Outer Boros, but I don't know, I'm still thinking. But that's pretty much the main deck, and yeah, tell me guys, any thoughts on it, any ideas for it, to improve it. Like I said, the improvements will be made over time as I can get more cards, but right now this is pretty much what I have to work with in terms of cards that I can get pretty easily. So anyway, give me your thoughts on this in the comment section below, as well as any improvements that you think you can give it. You can help make it, give it improvements basically. So anyway, comment, rate, subscribe, and bye.